Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're good. Today I'm here for another book review. That book review is going to be on Something Wicked This Way Comes by Bradbury. This book was originally published, I believe, in 1962? Yeah, 1962. This is a old classic book that was just really well received at the time. Still to this day, it's been adapted many times. I think Disney adapted it a long time ago, and it's probably in a lot of pop culture, and the characters are really well known, and it's a really popular book. It's a popular story, and I think that it's really well deserved. But before we get into the story, I do want to mention, or at least bring up Bradbury, because Bradbury, if you haven't read Bradbury, he has written for years and years and years, and he's an inspiration to a lot of writers, and I believe he passed away maybe around 10 years ago or so. He wrote Fahrenheit 451, which is just incredible. He wrote The Martian Chronicles. The Halloween Tree is also incredible. The perfect Halloween read to pick up. If you haven't read The Halloween Tree, I would also really recommend that. I've only read Fahrenheit 451, The Halloween Tree, and now Something Wicked This Way Comes. I need to pick up more, obviously, but he's such an incredible writer, and I think his stories kind of just continue to bring readers in. Everyone will continually go back to Bradbury's work because he's just so inspirational, and his stuff is just so good. He's such a great writer, so I highly recommend to pick up his work. That's all I really wanted to say. But let's go into the book itself. So Something Wicked This Way Comes is a story that takes place in the 60s, I believe, in this small little Midwestern town in Illinois. The title, I believe, is taken from Macbeth. I don't know the line particularly, but it's from Shakespeare, Macbeth, and there is some sort of line, and I guess that's where the title of the book comes from. So that's pretty neat. The story itself is a week before Halloween, around a week before Halloween, this carnival comes into this town and is a little bit sinister, a little bit spooky, something's off with this carnival. And our lead characters, Will and Jim, they're these teen boys, they're best friends. They can tell that something's off about this carnival, and the boys bring it upon themselves to kind of save their town from the wickedness of this carnival, to save the town from what the carnival is trying to do to the people. And that's the setup of the story. It is a very interesting, fun little tale, but the story is so much more than surface level what you would think. There's so much going on underneath that if you're paying attention to, and depending on the age that you read this book as well, because if you read this book as a kid versus when you're older, you're gonna take away different things, and I really want to talk about some of that stuff. So the story itself is just really great, but I think that some of the things that this book really plays on is fear of the unknown, fear of aging. It talks a lot about what it means to be younger and, coming of age, friendship, what happens when you get older as a kid and maybe you lose contact with some people that that's just normal, that's life. Also, it talks about, like I said, aging before. We have one of our characters, his name is Charles, who is the father, and he is a older parent. He didn't have his child till he was around his 40s, and to him that's a bit weird. And so the book talks a lot about what it is, just reflecting on aging and the fear of that and the fear of so many different things. And it's just such an interesting story because it just has you thinking about so many things, and I feel like it's going to resonate with so many different people at so many different ages, and you can come back to this book time and time again because of that, because you'll just find yourself thinking about pondering so many different things, right? I feel like the carnival in this story is run by Mr. Dark, and he in a way is the big bad, and he's so sinister and spooky, and he's a terrifying character because of what he is trying to do to the people. He is saying, hey, I will give you your youth back, but at a price. Mwahaha. That's what he's doing. That's the gist of it. And I found it so equally terrifying just at the concept of it and like just what the book is saying, but also beautiful in the way that it's written. And I do want to wrap around and talk about Ray Bradbury's writing style with this, because I think that in and of itself is going to be hit or miss for a lot of people. You're either going to love this book because of everything that I just said, everything that this book does, or it's not gonna, you know, click with you at all because of the writing style. The writing style is very, very different from what I think I've read from Ray Bradbury previously. It has this super strong, like vivid imagery. It's almost poetic and lyrical in a way, but it's just, he describes everything on and on and on. And at times you're reading this and you just feel as if you're falling into the narrative, and you feel almost like you're getting, not hypnotized, but you're just, everything is spiraling in a way, and it's hard to kind of grasp everything that's going on. Some of the you will understand if you read the story, but at the same time it's beautiful and it's done so well. But I can definitely see not a lot of people enjoying, I can see some people not enjoying this because of the writing style, because it is different. It's not something that is easily accessible compared to a lot of other books. So definitely, if you're interested in the story, just keep that in mind, that the writing is something that you're not just going to pick up and easily get to speed through. This is a book that you really need to take your time with, that you need to slowly just enjoy and assess everything that's happening, because it's not just for, I don't think it's for everyone. I think it could be for everyone, but I don't think that it's for the, you know, the random person that can just pick up a book and read it. I think that they'll get intimidated possibly and want to put it down. So that's something that I would say that could be a con, is the writing style, unfortunately. Though I honestly think Ray Bradbury is an incredible writer, and even though the story at times is just a little all over the place in what he's saying, I still loved it for some odd reason. I don't know, he's Ray Bradbury, what can you say? At times, even with this story, the feeling of reading it at times felt as if I was, you know, camping with my family, and maybe like a relative or my grandfather was telling me like an old spooky story. It had that feeling while reading this for some reason. So that's how I feel. I really, really enjoyed this one. I think this is such a great story, and I really need to watch the film because I haven't seen any of the adaptions, anything like that, but I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the characters. I loved everything about it. I loved how, I love the dynamic between Will and Jim, because Will is very like, hey, we have to fight these people. We got to go save everyone. We got to do all of this. And Jim is, in a way, Jim is being, tempted by Mr. Dark and the carnival. He's tempted to kind of, he's being lured in a way, and Will has to like bring him back, and Charles the father, he has to save his kid. He's got to save the town too, and he's just a janitor for the school library, but he is such a strong-willed character all at the same time. And I just, it was really good. It was really good. It was really good. I liked it a lot. Anyway, that is Something Wicked This Way Comes. It is not the most terrifying story in the world. Like, it's not scary. I think the concept and what the book dabbles in is scary, but the actual story itself, it's not too spooky. Anyone could enjoy it. I think if you don't like horror, then this is also the perfect, I can't speak, this is the perfect book for you. I think that about sums it up, all my thoughts. I can't really think of anything else to mention, besides I really enjoyed it. And if you have read it, I would love to know what your thoughts on the book are in the comments below. And if you haven't read it, I would love to know if you plan to. Have you seen the movie? Let me know what you think of it. Should I watch it? I think I'm going to. I definitely am going to. I'm rambling now. What do I say? I don't know. I get awkward in front of the camera sometimes. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you in a couple days for another book review. Bye.